Alright everybody, welcome to my PlayStation 4 collection. 70 plus games to cover today. This is my biggest video game collection per console. It's the console where I own the most games, more than the PlayStation 2. It has surpassed the mighty PS2, which is my favorite system of all time. So PlayStation 4, welcome everybody, thanks for joining, let's do this. Oh man, we have 70 plus games to cover. If I'm not mistaken, it's there are 74 games plus like 20 digital games on my PS4. Nah, those don't count. There's a lot of digital games that I have, review codes, the games that I bought for cheap, etc. Yeah, it will be interesting one day, to start seeing YouTubers covering their digital collection. It would be interesting, but also weird, isn't it? Imagine, that's exactly where we're headed. Oh, my PlayStation 5 collection. It's a bunch of like 100 digital games. There's been YouTubers already doing that, in case you didn't know, But anyway, damn, I'm nervous because, 70 plus games to cover, man. Let's just get right down to this, man. Let's begin. Alright, everybody, thanks for joining. Welcome. Apologies to the people in the chat who were expecting this video since a week ago. Couldn't do it. Well, today I'm here. Anyway, so I'm gonna start with one of my favorite games on the PS4. This is a game that I freaking loved the first time I played it. It's this one. It's called A Plague Tale Innocence. This is the first one. The second one is coming out this year, the sequel. Direct sequel with the same characters, the two... sister and little brother, this is a game that takes place in like the Inquisition time and the Black Plague, time, and it's a freaking masterpiece. I never thought I was gonna like this game. It's a gift that Rem sent me a bunch of PS4 games. In fact, a lot of PS4 games are gifts by Rem and Mike. We'll get to those later. This is one of the many games on the PS4 that was sent by Rem. Masterpiece, this game. I covered this game a few times in this channel and on my main channel, Erick, Landon RPG, even though it's not an RPG, but it does have some RPG elements. A Plague Tale, everybody. Yep, great game. Check it out. It shouldn't be expensive. I'm not sure how much this game goes for nowadays, but it shouldn't be expensive. It's everywhere. It's on the PS4, PS5, I think, Xbox One, Series X. Not on the Switch. It wouldn't be a good idea to port this game to the Switch. This is a game where graphics do matter. Frame rate does matter in this game, but you gotta play it to see why. Very suspenseful game. It's an adventure game with some horror elements, stealth elements. You gotta hide from your enemies and then attack them with a freaking slingshot. It's a very creative game. I love it. So Code Vein is Code Vein. Not much to say about this game except that I freaking loved it. When I first heard about it, when I watched the trailers a long time ago, you remember that? I was pretty excited for it and I did not disappoint. I know it has a little bit of a Souls-like battle system, and I know I don't like Souls, but I did love this game. Freaking masterpiece, this game. Code Vein, another gift by Rem, by the way. Moving on to another gift by Rem. This is Dragonstar Varnir. This is a compile hard RPG. You know what that means already, a lot of fan service, a lot of, kinky stuff in there. But it's also a little bit dark, because it's a turn-based RPG and the girls can like devour their enemies, a little bit like God Eater. We'll get to God Eater later, but it's a little bit like that, but it's a turn-based RPG. It's pretty creative. I like it. I never finished this game because it honestly got very repetitive and kind of boring. But I plan on finishing this game one day. It's just not one of the greatest compiled hard RPGs, but, it's pretty damn decent. It's a hidden gem. Okay, finally, Trails of Cold Steel. So there's 4 games, right? So far, released in North America. I only have 2, 3, and 4, though. The first one, I have it on the Vita. And these other 3 games, well, I bought them myself. I think this was a game that I got in England. Not when I was in England. My sister got it for me last Christmas and she came back and she gave it to me. I paid like £23, £22, which is like $28, maybe $30, probably $30, yeah. $30, yeah, a little bit more than that. But anyway, it was worth it because I really want to have all Trails of Cold Steel games on the PS4 in my collection one day. Well, so far I've only gotten these 3, and I have a very tragic story for this one. This one I don't even remember. I got it on P-Market Games in Canada, but I don't remember what I did. I think I just paid for it, probably. So there's no stories for these 2, but this one it breaks my heart what I did. You know, before I came back to Mexico, on my very last days in Canada, there was just a bunch of games that I couldn't take with me because they just didn't fit in my big, and I had this huge suitcase, you know, and they just couldn't fit in there. So there were a bunch of games that I had to get rid of, you know, over there in Canada. So I went to P-Market Games, and it was a bunch of, you know, cheap games like Persona 5 on the PS4, Valkyria Chronicles on the PS4, etc. Some PS2 games, some rare PS2 games actually. Special edition of Disgaea 4 on the PS3, dirt cheap too, and a complete in-box PlayStation 2. The problem is that this guy from P-Market Games, he already had a lot of those games, like multiple copies of those games, and he had like 20 complete in-box PS2 consoles, Slim. So I was like, man, he's gonna destroy me, and he did. He did destroy me. I had like the equivalent of probably $300 in there. He didn't give a fuck. I don't hold it against him because, you know, he was kind to me before that, and I went with him in a couple of trips to other cities. You know, we became friends, and I got some really nice deals thanks to those trips that I wouldn't be able to own today if not because of those trips, you know. So I can't hold it against him. But yeah, the thing is, he completely destroyed me, you know. So I got Trails of Cold Steel 4, and I also got Trials of Mana on the Switch. That's it. Those 2 games for all the things that I mentioned. He ripped me off. I don't think Peter from P-Market Games still watches this channel, but man, you fucking killed me. But at least I got this game, and I needed it for this channel, right? So that's a story. That's a tragic story. Do I regret anything that I did? Yes, I do. I think I could have gotten something much better or rarer than Trials of Mana, but I did need Trials of Mana for a couple of videos, so that's the thing about being a YouTuber and having a gaming channel and covering games from your collection constantly, like what I'm doing today, actually, is that your hobby becomes your job, right? And all of this is part of my job. It is my hobby, my passion, but it's also my job. So when you need something for your job, yeah, thank you, JCEs. Thanks. I have no interest in Elden Ring at all because it's a Miyazaki game and I'm not his fan. Stranger of Paradise, nope. I don't like Souls games. Code Vein is an exception. Bloodborne is an exception, but anything else from Software, post Dark Souls, and you know, all of those games, I have no interest. Thanks for asking, and thanks for the donation. Next up is this masterpiece. You guys already know I'm a die-hard fan of these games, so let's just move on because one of these days I'm gonna make an entire video dedicated to this masterpiece. Where's the other one? Down here. There we go. The sequel, just as good. Pretty disturbing ending. One of the most disturbing and shocking endings in video games. I've played my fair share of video games and RPGs, you guys know that, and these, wow, top 5 most disturbing endings I've seen, man. Yeah, masterpieces, both of them. If you don't know what these games are, they're 2D, well, survival horror games, platformers, environmental puzzle games. It's a cross-genre of games, but they're pretty much survival horror games. Masterpiece, I'm a huge fan of those games. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, another gift from Rem. I like this game. You know, I think it's one of the very few Metroidvania games that I like. I never got past the boss. You pretty much, I don't want to spoil the game, you fight this boss, and well, that boss beat the shit out of me multiple times, and I was like, man, I couldn't defeat it. So I gave up. One day, I'll come back. One day. I gotta finish it. Great game. Summon Night 6, Lost Borders, this is one of the usual suspects. You know, you're probably tired of seeing me talk about this game. Yeah, Hidden Gem, it's also on the Vita. I just got this game for $30, like about a year ago. I beat it. The final boss almost made me rage quit because the entire game is a walk in the freaking park. Easiest strategy RPG ever except the final boss. The difficulty spike is like 180 degrees, man. I'm not kidding. Anyway. So, Sakura Wars, another game I got for $30 on Amazon, just like that one. Sakura Wars, great game. It's a sequel, but it's not a sequel to the one on the Wii. It takes place after the one on the Wii and PS2, Sakura Wars So Long My Love. But has nothing to do with that game, but it's more likely a sequel to the anime or the sequel to the first game on the PS2 that we never got. Sega Saturn. I think it's also on the PS2, but it's not a direct sequel. It's pretty much a standalone title. Great game here. Yeah, it's a visual novel / action RPG. Just wanted to, to point that out. Thanks for joining, everybody. Glad to see you guys here. Divinity Original Sin, another gift. Ram, it breaks my heart that Ram... I'm not sure if she still watches the channel. She's going through some really tough times right now with her family. So she pretty much disappeared from all the YouTube scene. But I wish she was here because a lot of games on my PS4 collection are gifts from her. And this is one of them. This is a game that I only played for I remember streaming this game like 3 years ago. And I liked it, but it does focus a lot on the multiplayer aspect of the game. You can beat this game by yourself, but it's a lot of... it's very quest-driven and it just overwhelmed me. I think if I play this game one day with somebody else, it will be much better. But as a standalone game, it's just playing by yourself. It is good, but it's just not for me. But obviously, I think I need this game. I need to give this game a second chance one day. But I'm not sure. I think it's definitely... It feels like it's definitely more fun with somebody else. Alright, we're done with that little batch. We're gonna start on the top here with Resident Evil Origins Collection. This is a collection that I got from a friend who lives right here, like a couple of blocks away from my house. And I think I gave him like $12 for it. Anyway, so yeah. I'm a fan of these games. I'm a fan of the original games, and I'm a fan of this one. But yeah, that's as far as I go with Resident Evil. Not a fan of anything go past Resident Evil 4. The Banner Saga is another gift from Ram, and I never got rid of it. She always tells me, if you don't like some of the games I send you, just get rid of them. I don't care. And I've actually traded some games that were bad that she sent me, and I traded them for better games, and she was happy about it, so I'm happy too. But this is trash. This game is an indie strategy RPG. Sorry, developers, but I didn't like your game. I'm sorry, it's bad. It's bad. In my opinion, though, there's definitely someone out there who loves that game. And you know what? This game comes with the only reason I didn't get rid of it or traded it for something else because with this small art book. And this is a trilogy, by the way. It has these 3 games, and it comes with this character profile thing and the soundtrack. So it's pretty, I don't know, pretty special. The game is bad, but I'm keeping this game. Tokyo Xanadu is a game that I never finished. I put like 25 hours into it. I was, well, not near the end. No, definitely not. But I was about to get the last party member, which is a freaking idol. And you guys know me, I'm not into idol stuff. And if it gets overwhelming, if it gets very overly present in a video game, I quit. This game, the gameplay is amazing. Gameplay is superb. It's an action RPG and it's freaking glorious. Great controls, great combat, but the story is just... It killed it for me. All these J-pop and the idol scene, it's just very present here and it fucking killed it for me. But this is a game that I still recommend to you guys. If you like idols and all that stuff, J-pop and blah blah blah, it's a must play. Alright, God Wars, one of the many usual suspects. By the way, this is another gift from Ram, just like this one. I told you, it's gonna be... This is the Ram reanimated edition. But anyway, God Wars Future Past. Yeah, strategy RPG, very recommended. Is Origin, this is another gift, but not by Ram. This is a gift from my buddy Einashi. Some of you know that guy from the Discord. Einashi, long-time fan, long-time friend. Thanks a bunch, man. This is a PS4 version. This is not the limited Wrong Games edition. This is the... Oh yeah, never mind. It is the limited Wrong Games. You can see right here. right? I keep it in a plastic bag for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe it's because it's special. Yeah. It is freaking special, I love these. Lacrimosa of Dana, you probably don't know the story. So I didn't have a PS4 and I was saving money for it. And I already had the money for it back in December 2018. That was a long time ago. And one day, all of a sudden, you know, my fan Jason Hubbard, you've seen this guy donating sometimes in my streams. He just decided to send the PS4 with this game. But I didn't know this game was inside. He just said, I want to send you my old PS4. It's the first model that I still own it and I still play it. And he sent the PS4, but we ended up paying a lot of taxes because freaking Mexican customs, man. Customs here are highway robbery. And he sent the PS4 through FedEx. But I was so pissed off. But, you know, it's in the past, you know, it's just fucking companies, right? But when I opened the PS4, it was this big box because he sent the PS4 complete in box. You know, I had the box. And when I opened it and this game was inside of it, I was like, man. My man, Jason. If you're still watching this, thanks a bunch, man. I still have your letter. He sent a letter. I still have the letter, man. Man, I'll never forget that. You sent me this masterpiece and I'll treasure this game for the rest of my days. I want to be buried with this game. That's my story. Anyway, and fuck FedEx. Another gift from Rem. Mistover. This is the only physical edition of the game. This is the classic Chinese version with English subtitles because we didn't get this in North America. So she sent this. Not really my type of game. It's very similar to another game I have here that she also sent called Darkest Dungeon. We'll get to that in a bit. But it's good. It's just very repetitive, you know. It's a dungeon crawler, not in first person, top-down view. And you create a bunch of generic characters from different jobs. And you go around these dungeons, these roguelike dungeons, you know. Randomly generated dungeons and gather items, you know, get stuff, get weapons. And all you're trying to do is survive. It's a campaign type of RPG, but it's just very repetitive. But it's pretty decent. If that's your type of RPG, this is great. But it's a chibi cute anime version of Darkest Dungeon. We'll get to Darkest Dungeon in a bit. Where the hell is it? Well, we'll get to it. Actually, I'm kidding. It's right here. Darkest Dungeon. So yeah, it's the same, but this is it's pretty dark. It's more violent. It's pretty disturbing sometimes, and your characters can go crazy and you gotta take them to a psychiatric hospital. I hate that word in English. You know, a freaking psych ward in a hospital, man, and you gotta heal them, and it's pretty entertaining, you know. I never finished this game because it's freaking brutal, and it's also very repetitive, you know. I'm not really a big fan of dungeon crawlers, unless they have like a very good, interesting story, right? But yeah, pretty cool game, pretty influential. This game was released everywhere, on every platform you can imagine, even on the Atari 2600. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Thanks, Rem. It's also a gift from Rem. Another gift from Rem, it's Vampire. This is I think it's a French RPG from France, or it's in Europe. It's a European game, and from the UK. It takes place in the UK, in the London from the 18th and 19th century. 19th century, yeah. And it's pretty good. This is a true role-playing game. This is one of those games where, you know, every single decision you make matters, affects the story, affects your relationship with the other characters. You know, it's pretty interesting. I highly recommend this game. It's also on the Xbox One. I'm not sure if it's on PS5. I don't think so. Xbox One and PC. Yeah, and I think it's on the Switch as well. But I'm not sure about this game on the Switch because it's pretty dark. Has a lot of dark graphics. So I'm pretty sure this game on the Switch doesn't perform very well. I don't know. I have the PS4 version. That's the one that I recommend. Okay, more gifts from Rem. The Witcher 3, I still have this. I haven't given this game another chance. I swore to you guys, I made you a promise that I will go back to this game one day. That was 3 years ago. I know, shame on me. This one has this... it's also like a mini special edition because it has this map, you know. And it has these stickers. and a manual, and a thank you manual, and a soundtrack. You know, it's pretty interesting. I love this special edition, and I love the first season with the live action show with Henry Cavill. I'm loving it. I haven't watched the second season, released a couple of months ago, or was it like a month ago? But anyway, yeah, some of you were there, some of you were in this stream, and you saw me. I have witnesses that claim that I promised that I will go back to this game. So I have committed a crime, I know. So Ni no Kuni Revenant Kingdom, I got this in Canada for like $10. Yeah. It's a good game. I like this one much better than the first one. That's just my unpopular opinion. Zanki Zero is another gift from Rem. Man, like 30% of my PS4 collection are gifts from Rem. Thanks, Rem, once again. Zanki Zero is one of the weirdest RPGs I ever played in my life. Very weird. A bunch of characters trapped in a deserted island, and they are the only ones. And apparently, they are the only human beings alive on the planet. Apparently. And it's just very freaking weird because the characters get old really quickly and they gotta die and they gotta be reborn through an arcade machine. I'm not kidding, man. That's the story, that's the plot in this game. I'm not kidding. And it's fucking weird, but in a good sense. This is pretty good, it's pretty original. Remember that video I did the most on unique RPGs I ever played? You know, I think, you know, I might make another video one of these days and include this freaking weirdo. I love that game. The Witch and the Hundred Knight 2, one of the very few exclusive games on the PS4. This game is nowhere. No Xbox, no Switch, no PC, no Steam, no, just the PS4. And it's just as good as the first one. The first one is also on the PS4, remastered. It's just as good. I've recommended this game a few times. Pretty cool game. Cool action, good controls, funny story, funny characters. Yeah, Shantae Half Genie Hero is one of my favorite platformers of all time, even though I've never finished it because it's freaking brutal and I'm an idiot for action games. I suck at them. And I got this in Canada for $20 probably, and it's everywhere. Switch, Xbox, everywhere. I think it's also on PS5, I'm not too sure, maybe digital only. Yeah, Shantae, play the Shantae games, man. They are extraordinary platformers, very underrated actually. They're pretty well known, but I feel like a lot of people don't give them a proper chance. You know, they're amazing games, the Shantae games. That's the only one I own. So here are the Langrisser remasters. Well, the remakes actually. I don't know why they decided to call them remasters and advertise them as remasters. They are not remasters. They look completely redone from scratch. These are full remakes. 1 and 2. Yeah, I've recommended this collection to pieces in my channel. You're probably tired of that. And yes, this is also a gift, but this is a gift from my buddy Einashi. Thank you, Einashi. What else is there? Valkyria Chronicles 4. A gift from a guy. I don't know if he's still a fan of the channel. This was 3 years ago, one of the very first PS4 games I had got. And I got it like 5 months after its release. Masterpiece, strongly recommended. Just as good as the first game. Man, this is a must play. It's also on Switch and Xbox. What the hell are you doing watching this video if you haven't played Valkyria freaking Chronicles 4, man? Masterpiece. Crystar, another gift by Rem. Thanks, Rem. Crystar, I've recommended this game a few times. You already know this one. Action RPG. It's coming to the Switch in a month, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it's coming to the Switch. And, well, it doesn't have a manual. At first sight, it looks like a manual, but this is actually an art book. I've never shown this before, but it's an art book. And I love the art style in this game because it's dark, it's gothic, and it's amazing. It's not really a gothic game per se, you know, because it's kind of cheesy sometimes with the girls and the main character trying to find her lost bratty sister. You know, but it's a pretty fun game. Recommend it. Get the Switch version or get this PAL version. The North American version of this game is crazy expensive, I think. So either get the PAL version, your PS4 is region free, so don't worry about it. And or get the Switch version, the upcoming Switch version. .hackgu Last Recode is the remaster of the original trilogy plus a small extra episode. This is a game that you guys need to play. Alright? You need to play this. It's a necessity. And you know what's best? It's dirt cheap. It's been dirt cheap since forever. It's been dirt cheap since pretty much it came out. I often see this game for like $10, $20 everywhere I go, on Amazon and eBay, and it's also coming to the Switch in like a month. Lost Sphere, another gift from Rem. Thanks a bunch. Lost Sphere, great game. The second game by Tokyo RPG Factory. Excellent turn-based RPG. Yep. Lost Sphere. Underrated game. Pillars of Eternity is a game that I got when I was in, one of my little trips. My sister lives in England. She lives in Nottingham, UK. And one day before coming to Christmas, I think this was back in 2018. Yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure. So she bought it there for me for like £10 or less. I think it was like £6 or something, like pretty much like $10. And nope, not my type of game. It's one of those Western RPGs that are very quest-driven, and every decision you make in this game matters, affects the story, affects the characters, etc. It's a true role-playing game. It says right here, every action has a consequence. This is the complete edition. It was originally a game released for PC. It's actually pretty famous, you know. But anyway, so I'm not sure if I recommend this game. I need to get back to it one day, give it a second chance, and see if I really like it or not. It includes the DLC. It's called The White March. Wait, it has a shit ton amount of characters from what I've heard. I only played this game when I streamed it 3 years ago. Has Been Heroes, I have a story for this game. You don't know this game, I'm pretty sure you don't, and it's not that good. It's not bad, per se. It's a turn-based game, not a turn-based RPG. It's just a turn-based game, mission after mission after mission. The entire game is played like that. But I think it's indie, and I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know how to explain this game, man. I'm gonna have to talk about this game in a video in this second channel one day, because it's just so hard to understand and hard to explain. It's just fucking weird. And it's sealed. I never even opened this, because when my buddy Oscar and me, you know, we got this from, I think it was from PlayAsia, I don't remember, you know, he said, you know, it's like $2-3 sealed. So I was like, hey, why not? We were trying to make a hidden gems video for our channel in Spanish. And he got the Xbox One version, but because I don't have an Xbox One, I told him, I'll get the PS4 version for me. So I got this one, and we played the Xbox One version in his house, and we were like, you know what, it's not that good. We'll still included the game in the Xbox One Hidden Gems video, but sorry, somebody bought the game thanks to our recommendation. It's not bad, it's just, let's move on. It exists. Has Been Heroes as a name. Dragon's Crown Pro. Yeah, I got this on my local retail store. Completely sealed for like $30. I'm pretty sure this is still cheap. The Pro Edition, yeah. Dragon's Crown, huge diehard fan of it. Masterpiece. I streamed the whole game here on my main channel, Erick, Landon RPG. This is 13 Sentinels. The first game that I bought when I came back from Canada. We got it from Amazon, Oscar and me. He got his own copy and I got mine. Yeah, it comes with a small art book. It's not exactly an art book, it's just the character profiles and the expressions and whatnot. Masterpiece, also coming to the Switch pretty soon. Grand Kingdom, this is a small special edition that I also showed in my main channel. Includes bonus art book and a soundtrack. It's an okay special edition, one of those special editions. And it's a pretty decent game. You know, I've recommended this game to a few times in my channel, and it's not for everybody. It's a campaign-driven RPG. You create generic characters, you fight in a war, you choose sides. You know, it's pretty good, but this isn't something that I can say, you know, everybody should play this game. No, you know, it's very niche, and I love it. Grand Kingdom, also on the Vita. This is Utawara Rumono. I got this from a friend, you know, I bought it, and it was kind of cheap. This is a visual novel with a strategy RPG battle system, and it's pretty good. The story starts off kind of, well, it hooks you up from the beginning, but then it starts throwing you this lowly crap and these lowly anime girls humor at you, and it's pretty funny. It doesn't take itself seriously sometimes, but the more you advance, the more, you know, interesting the story becomes, and it ends up being a pretty interesting story, actually. don't judge this game by its cover. You know, it's worth it. Moving on to Dusk Diver. I talked about this game recently, and well, I talked about this game recently. Let's move on. Dusk Diver. The sequel was released about less than a month ago, I think. I don't have the sequel. I think it's on PS4, PS5, Switch, everywhere. This is also on the Switch. This is a beat 'em up, 3D beat 'em up. It has some strong RPG elements. Some people say it's an action RPG. I'm not too sure, but I do see the RPG elements in there. Hell, if you want to call it an RPG, be my guest. It's one of those games that could be treated as a role-playing game, because you are actually role-playing here, making decisions every now and then, and buying stuff, talking to people, finding clues, and fighting enemies, leveling up. So yeah, pretty much, right? Dusk Diver, check it out. It's also a special edition that I showed in my main channel, like this one. Valkyrie Revolution, got it for dirt cheap one day on my local game store. And before I bought this special edition, I knew the comments, I knew people were being, you know, like, oh, the game sucks, it's trash, blah blah blah, and I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna pay a lot for it. I got it for like $15. This Vanargand edition with the pin and the soundtrack. The soundtrack composed by Yasunori Mitsuda, actually, and I loved it. Just a phenomenal story, great writing. Sure, the gameplay's not that great, but I love this freaking game. I do recommend that game, if only for the story. Okay, we'll leave the, can you see the big... No, you can't. Well, I'll leave this one for last. Tales of Vesperia, the Definitive Edition, a gift from Einashi. Thanks a bunch, man. Yeah, Definitive Edition. Yeah. You know that game very well. Tales of Berseria, one of the very first PS4 games that I got. And I paid for like, I don't remember how much I paid for this, like $20. There's no story to it, I just bought it from a random guy on the internet, and yeah, I loved it. Masterpiece. It's my second favorite Tales game. That's right. 10 things you didn't know about Tales of Berseria one day. Mark my words. Tales of Zestiria? Yeah, Tales of Zestiria. Yeah, don't hate this game, stop hating this game, come on, it's not that bad. There are far worse RPGs out there. This is a good game. It's not great, but it's good. Come on. People who trash this game are usually, I feel they're usually guys who've only played like 5 RPGs in their lives. Is it a disappointing game? Yes, it is, but it's far from being bad. Dragon Quest XI, yeah. Masterpiece, you know that already. That's the edition of light, the day one edition, pretty much. I don't have the definitive edition. Moving on to Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. These are action RPGs, and I love them both. Very challenging games. You know the Dragon Quest series. Guys, I have a question for you. Is there a Dragon Quest game? Leave it in the comments or right now in the chat. Is there a Dragon Quest game that lets you choose the difficulty? Because I've played a lot of them, and no hard mode, no easy mode, no nothing. You're just there with the preset difficulty. And these two games are the same, you know, and they get very challenging near the end. And I know I suck at action RPGs, so yeah, I beat these games. Wait, if I'm saying that I suck at action RPGs and I beat these games, does that makes them easy games? Moving on to Mortal Kombat 11. This is a gift from my friend Oscar. It was a Christmas gift. I gave him a Capcom t-shirt, pretty cool t-shirt, and he gave me this. I don't know why he thought I was gonna like this, but I liked it. He was right. It's one of the best Mortal Kombat games. 10 was good, 9 was phenomenal, and the other ones are kind of lame, except the Super Nintendo games. Those games are phenomenal. But this was pretty good, you know, I actually enjoyed it. I was like, man, you know, surpassed my expectations. Thanks, Oscar. Thank you, Shane O'Sullivan. He says, randomly discovered today that the Legend of Dragoon and Dark Cloud OSTs are on Spotify. Oh, interesting. And of course, super surprised. Oh, cool. About to start Zoe 2. What is that? Son of the Enders? Son of the Enders 2? I guess. Anyway. Thank you, James Godfrey. I knew it. You can't choose difficulty in Dragon Quest. At least not in your first playthrough. Speaking about Dragon Quest XI, we're listening to some music by it. Oninaki, you know, my sister got this for me, on Christmas, you know, with a bunch of other games that we've seen and others that were, well, most of them are here actually. Yeah, all of these games. Anyway, Oninaki, phenomenal action RPG. Not one of the best action RPGs of all time, but it's still pretty good, and the story, pretty dark and tragic story. Oh my god, one of the best stories on the PS4. I know, I promised to make top 10s on the best stories per console, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Huh. This game is also on the Switch. This PS4 game, by the way, was not released in North America. Or was it? Fuck. Well, this is the PAL version, and your PS4 is region free, so... Anyway, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, another one that I bought, when my sister was in England. These aren't gifts from my sister, she came back with them and I paid her. She paid for them on pounds, with pounds, and I gave her the money in Mexican pesos. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is a fighting game, and it also contains a small action RPG, 2D beat-em-up action RPG, and it's pretty great. The fighting the enemies is kind of generic and repetitive, but the boss fights are epic here. It's where the game truly shines. I feel that it's worth it just for the boss fights. They're awesome in this game. I'm not sure how much this game goes for people. I think it's kind of pricey, but if you find it for cheap, get it. Even if you don't like fighting games, as long as you like beat-em-ups or 2D action RPGs, this is a must-play. You're gonna ask if you need to play the other games to understand this one. Well, you need to watch the anime. Yeah, because you start playing this game in the story mode, the RPG mode, and you're like, what? Who are these characters? What happened? It's a direct sequel to what happened in the anime series. And the anime is on Netflix, and it's not that good, but if you want to understand everything about this game, you need to watch the anime. Or if you know Japanese, play the mobile game that's only in Japan. Anyway, the God Eater games. God Eater 1 and... the first one didn't get a physical release. It's called God Eater Resurrection. It's a remake of the one on the PSP. And then there's God Eater 2 and 3. God Eater 3, I only played the game to capture the footage for a video that I did on the Switch. Well, what do you want me to do? I don't have the Switch version. So I ended up using the PS4 footage. So I only played it that time, and it was like an hour. So I don't have a lot to say about this game yet. And this, well, I already talked about this in the games that JRPGs that surpass my expectations. And I'm like 8 hours into this one. I just finished Resurrection, because you need to finish Resurrection first before playing the sequel. This is a very direct sequel of the game. And Resurrection is fine. It's a great game, but the post-game is killing me. It's brutally hard. Those games are like Dragon Quest, no difficulty settings, you're stuck with the whatever mode. And post-game, it's freaking brutal, man. Knights of Azure, man. Amazing game, much better than the second one. The second one, I love it to death, you know that, but this one I love it too. I love it even more because it's more gothic, sure, there's a lot of fan service in there. The main characters are lesbians, they love each other, yes, they are. And basically, well, I don't want to spoil the game. How do I explain the story without spoiling the game? Our niece, this girl here, she gets sent to... She belongs to an organization. She has special powers, like demonic powers, and she gets sent to this remote place where there's this hotel where she can stay, and that's her base of operations. And basically, she needs to find her best friend. And once she rescues her, that's not a spoiler. That happens after the first mission. Damn. You know what? It's a fantastic game. Let's leave it at that. I don't want to spoil the game for you. And unfortunately, this game is kind of expensive. I looked for this game everywhere. For years, I was looking for this game everywhere. And every time that I saw it, it was by a mere chance because it was nowhere to be found. I only found it in 2 stores in Canada. And it was... The first time I saw it was in very poor condition. And the guy wanted like $60 for it. I was like, fuck no. And then I saw it on Amazon. And it was always like $50 or $60 or more, and I was like, man, I don't want to pay that much for this game. So when my sister went to the stores in Nottingham, it was just sitting there with Trails of Cold Steel 2, God Eater 2, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is next, and it was like 15 pounds, and I couldn't believe it. Lucky motherfucker, I know. Yeah, because this game is expensive. It is harder to find. That's right, Miami. 507 remake, yeah. Alright, I want to talk about this bunch of games. Gifts, the last gifts sent by Rem. And these, remember when I said fuck FedEx? Well, fuck UPS too. You know what those fuckers did? She sent these 4 games in a Switch game, a year ago. Exactly a year ago, February 2021. And they never arrived. And we reached out to them. I had to call them and ask them what the freaking hell is going on here. And they said, oh, we're looking into it, so give us the information, what was sent to you, the names of the games, blah, blah, blah. So I sent all the information, and I never heard back from the employee. And I sent her an email, saying, hey, so it's been like a week. So what happened? No reply. And later, Rem found out when she called in the US, oh, your package was lost. It never even arrived to the Mexican customs. No, it got lost in the US. And like a month ago, they arrived. Here, out of fucking nowhere. And I asked the guy, hey, what's up? This is a year-old package. Oh, I don't know, they just gave it to me, so here you go. What the hell, UPS? So what are the games? Brigandine, a masterpiece, and it came with this, I don't know what this is, but it's cool. You've probably seen it in the background of some of my videos. I love this game, and I'm so grateful, Rem, because she sent this game to me. It's crazy expensive, and even the Switch version is also very rare and expensive. I think it goes for over $100 already. Sorry guys, but I'm digital. You can always go digital with this game, thankfully. Yeah. Brigandine. You don't need to play the first one to understand this one. The first one is on the PS1. It has very similar gameplay mechanics, but it's a different story and different characters. Okay. And I finally have this one! I have the Switch version, but the Switch version is not the best version to play of this game, so I'm so happy I finally own the PS4 version of this masterpiece. The best East game of all time. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I like it more than Lacrimosa of Dana. I love this game. And this is the packed edition with with a manual. And a small soundtrack with 5 songs. That's right. Beats me. I know, right? Packages get lost in UPS and they arrive 1 year later. I don't know, maybe somebody stole the package, played the games, and then he decided, oh man, I feel bad for these guys, so I'll just send him to him. I don't know. Earthlock is a pretty famous indie RPG published by Sodesco and Snowcastle. And I remember streaming this game 3 years ago or more. I don't know if you guys were there. It was a long time ago. I played a demo of it just when it was about to be released on PS4 and Xbox One and Switch. And I remember I loved the first hour of the demo, but the second hour was kind of bad, repetitive, like I didn't really love it. So now that I have this full PS4 version, I might get to it one day. Maybe I'll stream it again, but I have this massive backlog, that it's gonna be a while before I get back to this game. Because right now I'm still trying to finish the Torture. There's the post-game of God Eater Resurrection, and also I'm still playing Edge of Eternity, the indie game that I streamed a couple of weeks ago. And then there's this game, I don't know if you guys remember, that I streamed it because the developers reached out to me, the publishers reached out and gave me the review code, and I was like, man, that's one of the games Rem sent me. Yeah, well, at least I'm getting it digital. And then this happened, right? This is... I'm mispronouncing this, I know. Yuan Sword 7. The Gate of Firmament. And it's one of those, Chinese versions with English subtitles. As you can see, almost everything is in Chinese. It's a Chinese RPG, This is part of a series, of a long-running series. There's a lot of games, but we've only gotten 2 games, I think. The Xuan Yuan Sword 6, I think it's digital only. And then this one. It's an action RPG. I streamed it. It wasn't too long ago. It was like 3 months ago. I'm pretty sure some of you remember the stream. And it was pretty fun. You know, this is definitely a game that I'm planning on going back to one day. And I've been dying to talk about it. But I've only played 2 hours, the 2 hours that I streamed. I need to play a little bit more before I can include it in the top 10 just randomly. Just mention the game, you know, so yeah. Anyway, this is recommended. Pretty fun game, pretty original. It plays a little bit like... It gave me some Witcher 3 vibes for some reason in terms of gameplay and graphics, but it's a good game. It looks like a Dynasty Warriors game, but no, it's an action RPG, don't worry. Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. This is a gift from Jason. He sent this alongside other games when I was still in Canada. Yeah, The Zodiac Age, the best version of Final Fantasy XII to play. Yeah, I love the PS2 version, don't take me wrong, but forget about the PS2 version. Get your hands on this one. It's dirt cheap, and this is the ideal version to play of this game. Dark Rose Valkyrie. You know, I've been trying to make a video for a long time called 10 JRPGs that I regret recommending. So, my apologies in advance. This is not a bad game, but this is one of those games that were in the my very first PS4 Hidden Gems video. Sorry. And I know that video has like 112,000 views. So there's 112,000 people out there who saw me recommending this game, and it's not good. It's not bad. It starts off pretty good, actually, but 3 hours later and you're like, fuck this game. Don't bother. Hey, Oscar. Did we recommend this game on one of our PS4 Hidden Gems video? Please tell me we didn't. Oh, it's not bad. It's not a bad game. It is just... Moving on to Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, Scarlet Nexus. I paid this, like $30 on Amazon. Yeah, Scarlet Nexus. You know my opinion on this game already. It's a phenomenal game. It's a fantastic game. A tier, no masterpiece because it has some things that I didn't like about it. I love the combat, but I didn't absolutely adore it. You know, I don't worship this game like a lot of people do. But, you know, it's a good game. I do recommend it. Nier Automata. No story. Some games have a story, as you've been seeing today, but others, you know, I just bought them and that's it. Atelier Rise, another gift from Mike. Atelier Rise is pretty fun. It is one of the best Atelier games, no better than the Iris games. Well, better than the third one, but Iris 1 and 2 are still better than this, in my opinion. Shally is better than this. So if I had to make my own top 5, I already made the video with Ircha Gaming, but it was a collaboration. She put her 5 favorite Atelier games, and I put my 5. It's on my main channel. If you guys didn't watch it, I recommend that video. It was pretty fun. Our top 10 best Atelier games with Ircha Gaming. And she put this game very high on the list for good reasons. It's pretty fun. The graphics look amazing. The battle system is better than in most Atelier games because it's one of those battle systems with active time bars. You know, it flows in real time. It's still played in turns, but it flows in real time. So anyway, so Atelier Ryza, pretty fun game. Check it out. For a time, I kind of remember that game was expensive, wasn't it? The Switch version is crazy expensive still nowadays, I think. But that PS4 version, I've seen it a couple of times for $40 on Amazon here in Mexico. I'm not sure if it's $40 too on the US or Canada. Amazon US or Canada, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, the PS4 version is not that expensive. So another gift from Rem. This is Dead End Request. One of the best compiled hard RPGs. Unlike Dragonstar Varnir, which is okay, and Dark Rose Valkyrie, which is kinda lame, it's a D. This one's a B. There's a sequel, and I've heard a sequel is much better than this one, and you don't need to play this one to understand the sequel. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't played the sequel, no, I barely know anything about it. But anyway, Death and Request, it's visual novel / turn-based RPG. In this turn-based RPG, you can just play a little bit like a bowling game. You know, you position yourself and kick the enemies or punch them and they go, you know, bumping against other enemies on the battlefield. It's pretty fun, but it's a visual novel. There's a lot of heavy reading. There's a lot of, you know, lolly, cute anime girl bullshit and nonsense. So yeah, it's no masterpiece. It's a compile hard RPG. You know, that speaks volumes. This Gaia 5? This is another gift from Rem, I think. Yeah, it is. And yeah, some people say it's the best This Gaia game. It's one of the best. Yeah, it's one of the best. Though I still prefer This Gaia 4 and This Gaia 2 a little bit more. Ugh. This is going to, if I ever make that video, this is going to be there. 10 JRPGs that I regret recommending. I'm sorry, guys. I officially apologize for recommending this game. It's not bad, but this is the crossover of all the Atelier games. The protagonist is Nelke. She's not an Atelier, she's not an alchemist. She's just a town manager. And there's a lot of town management and micromanagement in this game, and it is not very well implemented. So, I don't know what the hell happened there, Ghost developers. This game was not great, let's leave it at that. And it went up in price for no reason. Probably because some douchebag asshole YouTuber called Erick Landon RPG put it on his Hidden Gems video when he shouldn't have. That asshole, blame that asshole. I'm not that guy, I'm Erick Landon Gaming. Lumo is an environmental puzzle in 3D. It's a straight up, I don't want to say clone, but very, very, very influenced and inspired by, what's the name of this game on the NES? Solstice? Solstice, I think that's the name of the game. But this is pretty good. The music, amazing game, but it's brutal. It's freaking impossible, man. It's very hard. Near the end of the game is like, man, no, very hard for me. But it's a pretty fun game. Is this an indie game? I don't remember. I think I've covered this game on my PS4 Hidden Gems video, and we also covered this on our PS4 Hidden Gems video in Discussion Gamer. Anyway, good game. Recommend it. It's everywhere. Xbox, Switch, PC, microwaves. Solstice, Equinox. Thanks, Miami. Yeah, it's pretty much. And the character looks the same, right? In Solstice, you play as this little guy with a black mage, like a Final Fantasy black mage, and you know it's the same guy here. So yeah, it's a very inspired game. Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness, one of the most disappointing JRPGs of all time. I still liked it. I still finished the game, but I'm not sure I can recommend it. This is one of the very first PS4 games I got, actually. And I got this one before actually getting the PS4 because it was just dirt cheap. It was $10. $10, and I was like, I don't have a PS4, but whatever, I'll get it. I don't regret my $10. It's a decent game. It's like Tales of Cesteria, okay? It's disappointing, but it's not a bad game per se. It's not that bad. Sega Genesis Classics Collection, you know, it's everywhere on the Switch. Another one of those. There's been one. There was one on the PS3. On the 360, PS2, original Xbox? No, I don't think so. Weird, isn't it? That it's not on the original Xbox, but anyway, yeah. 50 plus games, including, you know, Genesis RPGs are crazy expensive, right? So get this collection if you want to play Shining Force 1 and 2, Phantasy Star 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, I don't think the first one is here, but anyway. And yeah, Beyond Oasis, Light Crusader, you know, Monster Boy. This is a phenomenal collection. Rayman Legends, fun game, one of the best Rayman games, if not the best. These and Rayman Legends are fantastic games. Strongly recommended platformers, you know. They're still in 2D, but they play a little bit different than the one on the PS1, which is the one everybody knows. But these are great games. I don't even remember how I got this game. I have no idea how I got this game in my collection. It's not a gift. A gift from my buddy Gosu, Indivisible. And before you unsubscribe, let's just keep going. You know, it's just I liked it, but I couldn't get into it. You know, I know the battle system is like in Valkyrie Profile, but damn, it's just real time, and it's just hard to. You gotta react very quickly, pay a lot of attention. So in the end, I couldn't get into this game. Sorry guys. Unlike this masterpiece, and we're listening to the music right now, right freaking now. Amazing masterpiece of a soundtrack. Oh man, and my favorite indie RPG of all time. You guys know that already. A gift from an ex-fan. He left. I don't think he watches the channel anymore. He used to be on Discord, and I don't know what happened to him. Something pissed him off, and he left. But just in case he's still watching, Robert, thanks a bunch. Next is Crosscode, and next game, Blade Strangers, a fighting game, 2D fighting game by Nicalis, based on some of the franchises from Nicalis, like Shovel Knight, Cave Story, Code of Princess, and a bunch of Japanese-only games we never got. Typical of fighting games, right? It's like in the PS3 era, we started getting a lot of fighting games that included characters from games we don't even know, like only in Japan games. So I don't even know why they got localized, but thankfully they were localized. Thank you, Nicalis, for localizing this game. This is a phenomenal 2D action RPG. Amazing game. I got this. I don't think it's expensive. I think it's one of those $40 games on the Switch and PS4. But I got this for like $10 in a local retail store. One of those Game Stops here in Mexico. They're called Game Planet. It was dirt cheap, so I couldn't resist. Exist Archive. This is a brutally hard game. Brutally hard, but I loved it. I finished it, and I'm so proud. It's a turn-based RPGs. I'm not bad at those. You know, it's surprising that I beat hardcore action RPGs. Me. But turn-based, come on. Yeah. No difficulty settings here. Developed by Tri-Ace. One of the most heavily recommended hidden gems in this channel. Why are you... What's up with this guy? What's up with this guy? Let's hide this guy. Spamming Exist Archive. That's right. Alright, you see, okay, I skipped Crosscode. I liked the game, it's just there were too many puzzles. Too many. And that killed the game for me. It's still a fantastic game, but if you play this, you gotta be aware of the fact that it has a shit ton of puzzles. And it's more of a puzzle game than an action RPG. That's my only problem. Phenomenal game, but yeah. The puzzles wore me out. And last, but definitely not least, my favorite item on my PS4 collection, a gift from my buddy Mike. And I'll never forget the asshole. You know, he sent this amazing PS4 version, special edition to me. Complete. Great condition. And instead of sending the game, he sent this piece of... Give me one moment. I got it backwards so it doesn't show on my videos. Sometimes it shows because it's a meme of this channel. You guys know that. But yeah, I used its PS4 case for another game. He didn't send Odin Sphere with that special edition. He sent this instead. Asshole. I was pissed off. I was dying. You know, I was laughing out loud when I saw this. I was like, man, he trolled me. He sent Odin Sphere the following week. So thank you, Einashi. Thank you. I still own this piece of shit. I'll never get rid of it, you know, my writing stables. Best RPG of all time. And that's it, everybody. That's it. If you want to see what's inside of it, go watch my special editions video on my main channel. Thanks a bunch, Mike. Thanks, Einashi. Thanks, man. One of my biggest treasures in my collection. And that is my entire PS4 collection. Wow. 74 games. Well, 75 games. And it's the biggest collection that I own. I'm so proud of it. I love the PS4. It's definitely my second favorite video game system of all time now. next to the PS2, next to the PS Vita, well, PS TV. And, you know, that's it. Thanks a bunch for the gifts, Einashi and Rem. A lot of gifts from those guys. Thanks to everybody who sent a gift. Thank you guys for watching my PS4 collection. Yeah. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.